Welcome to Refuse to Lose. My name is Joe Jordan. I'm your host today. Today we're going to dig into the NFL and do something we haven't done in about 2 weeks. And we're going to pick these NFL games who we think is going to win each game. We have no Thursday night game, I think due to the New Year's coming up. And we have all the games on Sunday and the Monday night game. So let's get to it. And this is a crucial week because we got 2 more weeks left until the playoffs. So a lot of teams are in the mix of making this playoff, all right? First game, Falcons versus the Bills. So this could be a tricky game for the Bills because the Falcons, they show up like here and there. They have an offense that can put points up, but then they have weeks that they don't show up. As long as Patterson is playing, the Falcons will be competitive. As long as Patterson playing. Patterson is so underrated. He's one of the best NFL players in the league. But as long as when he's not playing, there's no contest. If he's playing, there's a contest. So I'm going to roll with the Bills, though. I'm going to roll with the Bills. I think Josh Allen is on a groove right now. He's on a roll. And I still think that the Bills will fall in one of these last 2 games, but I don't think it'll be this one. I still, but I'm going to pick the Bills to beat the Falcons. And then we have the Giants versus the Bears. All right, the Giants versus the Bears. So we got Giants versus Bears, and this game is going to be ugly, but I'm going to go with the Bears because the Giants quarterback situation right now is terrible. All right, with Daniel Jones at quarterback, they could have won more games. They could have been way more competitive in a lot more games, but this other quarterback, he is terrible. So I'm going to roll with the Bears to beat the Giants. The Chiefs versus the Bengals. This probably is the game of the week. This is the game of the week right here. All right. So the Chiefs versus the Chiefs versus the Bengals. I'm going to roll with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are not going to lose no more games to the end of the season. The Bengals are good, though. The Bengals are one of those teams that when they show up, they're going to show out. But it be games when they don't show up and they get blown out by simple teams, Like we saw what happened to the Jets. So I'm going to roll with the Chiefs to beat the Bengals in Cincinnati. All right. So the Chiefs going to win that game. The Bengals will drop from 9-7, and they're going to make this AFC North race even more interesting. Dolphins versus the Titans. All right. Dolphins versus the Titans. I'm going to pick. So this is a good game right here. The Dolphins really need this game to win. The Titans also need this game to keep hold of that division. But I'm going to roll with the Dolphins, man. I'm going to pick the Dolphins to continue their winning streak. I think their defense is going to step up against this Tennessee offense. Tennessee has been playing good, man. They've been sticking in every single game. Almost every game they played since King Henry was hurt. It's been like a close game almost every single time, and they've been fighting. So, and Tannehill's been playing a lot better than I thought, man. Like when King Henry went down, I was like, listen, Tannehill got to make a name for himself after this. And then Julio went down. AJ Brown went down. Julio comes back. Julio goes back down. AJ Brown comes back. So Tannehill has been staying strong in this stretch. But they will fall to the Dolphins. I'm going to pick the Dolphins, man. The Dolphins going to beat them. And I think the Dolphins will lose next week, but they're not going to lose. They're not going to end their winning streak this week. They're going to beat the Titans. This will be their first test since the Ravens. And they're going to go 9-7, y'all. They're going to have a good spot in that rock hard. So I'm picking the Dolphins. Raiders versus the Colts. Now, Carson Wentz will not play. I saw a tweet and it said that he might play. There's a chance he might play, but he probably won't play. So I think even without Carson Wentz, they could beat the Raiders at home. So I'm going to pick the Colts to beat the Raiders. All right. Because I still don't think the Raiders will make the playoffs. So I'm going to stick with that. And I got the Colts winning the division, and I'm going to stick with that. Jaguars versus the Patriots. I'm going to pick the Patriots to win that game, bounce back. It's a good game for them to bounce back of this 2-game losing streak they got right now. So I'm going to pick the Patriots. And then we got the Buccaneers versus the Jets. I mean, the Buccaneers, when they play these bad teams, besides the Saints, they take advantage and they beat up on them. Tom Brady has a field day. So I'm picking the Buccaneers to beat the Jets. Eagles versus Washington. Listen, the last time the Eagles and Washington played, the Eagles ran all over Washington. All over Washington. I mean, and threw the ball. I mean, Washington couldn't stop them. Even though I know they both had COVID issues, blah, blah. But Washington, man, they not playing for nothing no more. The Eagles are. They're not playing for anything. So I'm gonna roll with the Eagles to win this game and go 9-7 and still fight for that those wild card spots. And then we have the Rams versus the Ravens. So look, the Ravens has been on a losing skid, and Lamar's been out. All right. So Lamar's situation is we don't know. We don't know his situation. I'm not sure if he's coming back. I know Huntley is out, but Lamar, I don't know. I didn't see anything saying he's playing, but I think he is. So I'm going to pick the Ravens. Even without Lamar, I'm going to pick the Ravens to win this game and bounce back. They're not going to go on this losing skid, continue that happening. Harbaugh and the crew will bounce back and they will go 9-7 because I still think they're going to win this division. The Bengals could easily fall in these last two games, and the Ravens could easily rise in these last two games. So I'm going to pick the Ravens to beat the Rams and finish the season on a 2-game winning streak and winning that division. All right. And then we have the Broncos versus the Chargers. The Broncos versus the Chargers. So the Broncos beat the Chargers last time, but the defense is manhandled the Chargers. But I'm gonna roll with the Chargers. The Chargers are gonna bounce back and beat the Broncos. I'm gonna pick the Chargers, right? But I won't be surprised if they sweep the Chargers, y'all. But I'm gonna roll with the Chargers. They lost last week, so I think they'll bounce back. Texans versus the 49ers. Texans play people hard recently, but I'm gonna pick the 49ers to win that game, y'all. 49ers will make the playoffs. I'm telling y'all, they will make the playoffs. Cardinals versus Cowboys. So look, this game right here, the Cardinals has been on a losing skid also. Cowboys been on a winning skid. Not scared, but winning streak. So, but they've been beating up on bad teams. So, this is a test for them. This is a show. If they can flex their muscles on the Cardinals like they did with Washington, like they did with the Giants, like they did with the Saints, then the Cowboys are legit. But I don't think they are. I think the Cardinals will bounce back off the Cowboys. I think the Cardinals will win this game. And I don't think it'll be close, y'all. I think they're going to win by a margin. So I'm picking the Cardinals. Panthers versus the Saints. I'm going to roll with the Saints, man. The Panthers is not playing well. So the Saints aren't either. But the Saints defense has been more consistent than the Panthers. So I'm going to pick the Saints to win this game. And the Saints are playing at home. Lions versus the Seahawks. The Lions could pull off their third victory of the year, y'all. They could, but we're going to roll with the Seahawks. Russell Wilson playing at home. We're going to roll with the Seahawks. The Vikings versus Packers. Kirk Cousins lost Thielen. Thielen's out for the year. They beat the Packers last time. Let's roll with the Vikings again, y'all. To sweep the Packers. It's going to be weird. I'm picking the Vikings to win that. And then the Browns versus the Steelers. Let's go with the Browns. All right. The Browns will bounce back. Browns have a better team than them. Now the quarterback situations on both sides are very iffy. But I'm going to roll with the Browns to beat the Steelers and upset Big Ben at home, his last home game of the season. Then, like my brother said, if they lose, Big Ben will not have second thoughts of coming back. All right. So that's what I have for you guys today for the NFL. It's going to be a great Sunday, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Thank you for staying to the end. We really appreciate that. If you are listening to this on you or watching this on YouTube, we would like for you to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit the notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, etc., we would like for you to follow us on those platforms. Also, hit the notification button so you can be notified when we're out. And last but not least, no matter what platform you're listening to or you're watching it on, share it with someone you know, and they could be part of the movement also. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.